Hey traders, John Hall here. Now the market actually is sold off today. We're going to be looking at what's actually really going on with the stock market, what's really going on with silver and gold, and what's really going on with the markets overall, and how you should be approaching this market, how you should be approaching looking at the markets. Now before we get started, a lot of people have asked me how do I actually get mentoring by me. If you click on the very first link in the description, you're gonna go see a 90-minute free training that's going to help you, and at the end of that you can actually get some mentoring by me. Also, if you'd like to get a 1-hour coaching call with me to help you, gauge and guide through this, and for me to build you a custom plan to help you get ahead, a 1-hour coaching call, again, those links are in the description below as well too. Let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video. Trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There is no guarantees of making money in the markets, and trading is the most hardest thing you will ever do, and it takes a long time to become a good trader. So this video is just educational only. If you're struggling with your trading right now, then click on the very first link in the description and get learn a free training, the 7 universal laws to become a master trader that will boost your success, consistency, and confidence without spending a decade trying to figure it out. Click on the very first link in the description right now. All right, massive market sell-off in the markets, and I want to talk to you guys about what happened today in the markets and what does it mean moving forward with these markets, and what does it mean for that. Now, I did a video yesterday saying, especially with the S&P 500, that we could consolidate through here, or it looks like we could have a good, nice little drop down towards the 50 moving average. Now, we actually did that on both occasions, and if I bring up this chart through here, you actually can see this is the S&P, this is the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones definitely had a big, solid red down day. We were down here, so we were down. What was that? So we're down about almost a bit over 6% at one stage. So the circuit breakers almost came in and kicked it in, and now the market's rallied back up. Now, yes, we all know the market has sold off strongly. All right, we all know that. This is the S&P. In fact, let me make it more dramatic by showing you the candlesticks. Big sell-off, but please do not be jolted or having an emotional attached to these emotional swings. One of the biggest mistakes that I've made as a trader throughout my years is getting emotionally attached, emotionally interacted with these setups. Either thinking, oh my goodness, I can't believe this happened, or either thinking, oh my goodness, I could have made so much money on this day if I just went short. You know what I mean? Like all those things, all those things come into our mind. So what I want you to do is, as you are going through the markets and as you're trading the markets, you want to try to remove that emotion as much as possible. Now, yes, the Dow Jones went down. Same with the Nasdaq, had a pretty big solid down. They actually closed on a slow low as well too. So we may have a bit more follow through tomorrow as well too. And we also and also the S&P 500, again, nice big solid down day, and so on and so forth. If we go look at the ETFs, you can see the ETFs, the selling of the market has definitely been one of the strongest sellings we've seen in a quite long time. I wonder what Mr. Trump's going to say about this. He's been such an advocate of this big booming market because of him. I wonder what he's going to say about this. Anyway, so the markets have the S&P 500, again, big selling going through there. So how do you gauge? How do you flow? How do you actually navigate through these times in these markets, and how do you actually navigate through them? Well, the biggest thing, and this is actually the VIX as well too. I couldn't believe this. I've been trading the VIX for a long time, and I didn't trade it at all. And as you can see, the VIX actually just absolutely just spiked like crazy just recently. So just massive spike on the VIX, and we're nowhere near 2008 times there, but yeah, we can see that. Now, how do we navigate through these times with the S&P 500? Then I'm going to talk about silver and gold as well too. One of the best things I can say is try to remove as much emotion from the charts as possible. Don't have the FOMO effect, which is fear of missing out. Don't have, oh my goodness, the market dropped, it's the end of the world. Don't have that effect. You want to have just a neutral effect in the markets. And the reason why that's so important is because you want to be able to get ready for opportunities. This dip in the markets we're getting right now. Let me go back to the Dow Jones. And let me just bring up this chart here. And as you can see, what do I have on my chart? I have just the black open highlight close charts and white background. What does that do? What is that doing? It's helping me remove as much emotion as possible from the chart so I can get back to trading the market properly without these emotions getting involved. That's what's the most important thing. You don't want to be getting swung and pulled and tugged, all this sort of stuff from the markets as they go through this thing. Now, we all know something like this was going to happen. If you've been watching my videos for a while, if you've been watching my videos for a while, especially for the last few months, when I bring up my long-term charts, I say, guys, look at this big monthly charts here. You know, we've been going up for so long that now we're likely to have a bit of a pullback. And as you can see, if you look at the long-term chart here, there is nothing. This is the monthly chart. Let me even go back to the weekly chart here. There is nothing wrong with the pullback that we're seeing right now. There is just nothing wrong. We had literally almost 5 months of complete upward movement. In fact, it's been a lot longer than that. So a nice healthy pullback in the markets is welcomed. And so as you can see, sometimes it's just to bring back the charts like it is right now. And you can see we're just getting a nice healthy pullback through. If we go back and have a look at things like the Nasdaq and even the Dow, like if you stand back and look at the bigger picture, look, this is the weekly chart here. It looks pretty much nothing, right, on the charts. Like, oh, look, a big run up and then a big run down. I don't believe this is the end. I truly believe this is a bit of a shake and bake in the markets, a bit of a pullback. And I'm excited about this because the opportunities that are going to come from this are going to be incredible. I'm really, really, really excited about this. So, and obviously you can see this is what it looks like on the day chart. So the best thing you can do is to always have that longer term view in mind and not be so caught up in the middle of what the market is doing right now. And as the market's doing its shaking and baking thing and we're getting decent sell off in the markets, just stand back, remove the bars from the charts or the colors from the charts, and go back to a blank chart and say, okay, what's really going on here? Yes, we had a big drop, but yes, we had a big drop because we also had a pretty big decent rally as well too, as you can see. So that's the way that I want you to think about there. And what do I see from this market? Yeah, I see we could actually have a bit more of a sell-off. But once again, let's go back and look at that weekly chart. That weekly chart is what? It's just saying that, let me see if I can do this here. There we go. That's the support and resistance line that I see on the Nasdaq. So yes, we still could get a bit more of a, let me see if I can bring that down a little bit more. Somewhere around about there. So we still could get a bit more downward movement on the Nasdaq. We also see on the Dow Jones as well too. Look at the Dow Jones. Where are we at right now? Again, let's just draw some trend lines. So we definitely have that as a support line, and then we also have this level here as a support line. And in fact, as you can see, it actually did come down pretty much close to that level and then bounced off it today. So I personally believe this is just a nice healthy pullback before we start to go for a nice run. I truly believe we're going to make new highs again. Now, I don't know about that, but you definitely want to be smart about your investments. Don't get so emotionally involved with what's happening from day by day by day. You definitely don't want to do that because that's going to stop you from moving forward, and that's going to stop you from really trading really well. So that's the best thing I can say, is not get so in tuned and not attached with these markets, because they're going to, as the market's whipping, especially if you're looking at bars like this and you're looking at the market so close, like, oh my goodness, look at these big red bars. You want to try to remove as much emotion as possible. So, okay, this is what's happening right now. Let's just take it in. The market's going to be here tomorrow. It's going to be here the next day, and so on and so forth. Please do not react or respond of fear of missing out or getting into something because you think it's a good idea. This is the wrong time to be doing that. My mentor always says to me, the markets will be here tomorrow. The question is, will you? And so therefore, there's always going to be nice setups happening in the markets. There's always going to be really good setups. If there's nothing here, please do not take it. If there's nothing that meets your rules 100%, don't take it because you think you're going to make a lot of money. Please do not take something because you're fearful of missing out as well too. Okay. So let's actually go through. So that's the Dow Jones there. Let me go show you a quick look at the S&P 500, or the should I say gold and silver. So let's go have a look at gold and silver right now. This is the silver price. Silver price actually had a little rally up, and I do see silver's actually, again, silver didn't have any follow through of the big slam that it got just recently. And now we're having a little bit of a rally up. Now, what I do see is that the market did actually have this big drop down. So silver right now is looking quite bearish in the overall markets. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at this level through here, this was a nice significant support level, this whole level through here. And now it's rejecting it. So we may get a bit more follow through on the downside with silver there. But if we have a look at gold, let's have a look at the gold price. Where are you, gold? There you are. If we have a look at the gold price, now the gold price is actually holding up a lot nicer than the silver price is. And we go again, if we go back to that weekly chart, this is the reason why I I think gold is a much stronger commodity, or a much stronger metal out of the metals when it comes to silver and gold, because if you just look at the chart itself, look what's happened here. Right, we had all this big run up, and if I bring up, let me bring up this chart here and go to the weekly chart. Let me bring up that. And you know, and we can see this. And what do we see here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have basically all this upward movement, and now we've had this just one down week as well too. And if you look at the actual, if you look at the gold price, gold didn't get slammed. I had someone say to me, "It's like gold got slammed recently." It's like, no, it didn't. Gold just had like a pretty like, if you look at the actual gold rate, the bar of gold. Look at it. It's just a small little bar, right? It's not like it's a big down bar, right? Like, it's not like if we go back to the Brexit time. Let's go back to Brexit here. It's nothing like these red bars, is it? It's like nothing. It's just, you want to try to remove that. As you can see, right? You want to try to remove that as motion as much as possible and say, hey, it was just a nice, decent down there. That's all it was. And now we can see, what is the market doing here? The market's making low, higher low, higher low. This is still a higher low. So the markets continue to make these higher lows. Are we likely to rally and rally back up? Well, that's yet to be seen. But right now, there's nothing to be worried about, nothing to be concerned about. I'm still a big believer in long-term gold. I think that's one of the best investments long-term. Followed them by silver. But I think gold is such a much stronger price, stronger metal right now. And you can see it on the charts. But once again, looking at the market there, and especially looking at this weekly chart, once it starts breaking this price here, then we're likely to take on some serious price action within the markets. And that's for, you know, get ready for an explosion in price. I believe we're going to see Bitcoin type of movement in the gold price over the next couple of years, and that's the reason why I've been very bullish on the metal as well too. So keep an eye on that there. Don't be so worried about what's happening with that as well, with the actual markets. And the last thing I want to bring up to and show you is that I want to bring this up here. I want to bring up investing.com, and I want to go down to, and I want to bring up oh look, you can see popular searches today. Apple. Look at all these popular searches today. Cool. You want to see what's popular on the markets? Check out these things here. If we go to BTC/USD, let's go have a quick look at Bitcoin while we're at it on this video. And look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is down now at 6,000. 6,000. I was doing videos. If you guys had a long term, it's not that I told you so. I never bought or sold Bitcoin at all, not once, because I didn't get in at the right price, and the market took off. But I also knew it was a bubble coming as well too. And if we have a look at this day chart, look what's happening with Bitcoin. Just, oh my goodness, it's just so. If you guys go back and have a look at, like, if I bring up let me bring up my YouTube channel, and I'm going to bring up my channel here for a minute. And I'm going to bring up all my videos here. And I'm not going to do this for whatever reason, but I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to go down to, let me continue, go down here. As you can see, I've done a lot of videos here. All right, cool. So as you can see, I was doing here 2 months ago, Bitcoin meltdown. I did this video saying basically 2 months ago, we'll look out for that. But then also 1 month ago, as you can see, literally a month ago, 1 month ago, if I actually look at this video, what was the actual date? Hey everyone. The date was, let me just move this here. All right, so as you can see, the price here was almost 17,000 when I did this, and I did this on the 10th of December here. And I said, you know, Bitcoin bubble, and I was trying to tell people, I don't know how high this will go. You know, and look at this here, Bitcoin will hit 100,000. All right. So I said, I don't know how high Bitcoin will go, but it's turning into a bubble, and you don't want to get involved with this. Well, as you can see, that there was on the 10th, which is basically around this price here, around 17,000, went sideways, had a little bit more upward movement, and then we started this slide down through there. So if you guys want to know how to recognize a bubble, just type in the YouTube John Howe Bitcoin, and you'll be able to see all the videos I did comparing that to the tech bubble. And the reason why this was almost a certain, and I was screaming at the top here, let me buy some put options, let me buy some options. And if you guys watch me, right, I'm like, oh, let me buy options on this thing. And look at this market just continue to go down, retracing almost 100% of this bubble ever since we really went vertical right here. And one thing I learned from, and you guys may not agree with Harry Dent here. I'm not saying Harry Dent's always right. No, he's wrong. No, he's not. But one thing he is right is that when a bubble does retrace, when a bubble does start to retrace, or when the bubble starts to end, what will happen? 80 to 90% of where the bubble started, the market will trace down to there. This is exactly what happened with Bitcoin. The bubble really started back here. Now, again, I'm not saying Harry Dent's right about a lot of things, and he's been wrong about the timing with the stock market crash as well too, and things like that. But you can really learn a lot from him as well too. He says that when the bubble actually goes up, wherever the bubble started from, 80 to 90% of that, the market's going to retrace. Look at it, now we're in the 6,000s here. So many people have lost so much money. In fact, the media has now gone, or the YouTube has now gone from Bitcoin's amazing, Bitcoin 64,000, Bitcoin 1,000,000, Bitcoin. Now everyone's quiet to last, and now I'm seeing videos show up all over us. I lost so much money in Bitcoin. It's like no duh. And so if you guys did lose money in Bitcoin, please don't think it was the market that got you. Please don't think that it was that for somehow the market was against you and all that sort of stuff. No, you just weren't educated enough. And you go back and look at my charts, you can see where getting in at the wrong time in Bitcoin was getting in at the wrong time. That's all you did. If you did lose a lot of money, then you only have yourself to blame in the markets, but you can come back from that. Just please get yourself educated. Now, again, if you click on that very first link in the description, I'm going to teach you the 7 universal laws. I'm going to teach you my trading system. I'm going to teach you how to get ahead in the markets and how to truly get ahead in the markets, okay? Again, if you're really struggling right now with Bitcoin, you're very confused, book a 1-hour coaching call with me. I'll get you straight. I'll help you out there. And there's the very first link in the description. Go get that right now. So as you can see, Bitcoin's continuing to slide. Where's this going to go? I don't know, but we are definitely retracing pretty much almost 100% of where the actual bubble, that was 1 month. Let's go to 1 week. Where the actual bubble started. You can see the bubble basically started right back here before it went vertical. Now we're retracing all the way back down through here. And isn't it interesting that we go back to the day chart through here? It was literally in December. What happened in December? December they started to what? They opened up the futures contracts, and then wham, down and down and down and down and down she goes. I guarantee you there's so many institutions now have made so much money from the shortfall of this because they saw what was coming. Why do you think they open up a futures exchange connected to Bitcoin? They're not stupid. And boom, I guarantee you the hedge funds and Wall Street have been shorting the crap out of this because I've been shorting the futures market, and they've been making a bucket loads as this market's been falling down, retracing now well over from as high as almost 20,000 now down to 6,000. Oh my goodness, right? Just a complete pullback through there. So it's all about a timing factor. Now, I'm not saying Bitcoin's going to keep going down forever. If you've been watching my videos for a while, just wait for something simple on the chart to show you that we're going to turn around. Again, if we go back in the charts through here, what is that turnaround factor that we want to see? We want to see what? Let me actually go back to the last. Right, I'm going to go back to where we had the last downturn through here. Right, so a significant. Is there going to be? Where was the last significant downturn? It's been a while, hasn't it? All right, so let me just bring this up here. Right, so let me just go back through here. If we're opening up, if we're doing this here, what you want to see is you just want to see the market start to make higher highs and higher lows. And let's go back to this weekly chart here for a minute. And that's all we're going to do. And it really does come down to, this is 2015. And as we can see, the market's actually had all these, wow. The market took off quite nicely, didn't it? Let me go back to the daily chart here for a minute. What we're looking for is we're looking for the market to turn around. So we're looking for something like this. And let me go back to here. And this is something what you'd be looking for. As this market's been selling off, then something what happened, the market started making a high, a low, breaking of the high, a high, a low. So you want to start to see an uptrend action before starting to get into it. Like I personally want to buy some Bitcoin myself. Not now, I don't. I think that Bitcoin may be something in the future, but you don't want to be, and this is where basic technical analysis, which is powerful, is going to help you stay on the right side and don't go against that. What is this? We have a high, we have a lower high, we have a lower high, breaking of the lows. Who's in control right now? Who's been in control basically this entire time ever since we just went sideways through here and we started breaking down? Sellers, right? Like, yes, we had this dip down through here. And in fact, what we're seeing right now from here, this may be what we're seeing right now in the stock market. It may be not. I'm not sure. So then the market goes sideways and now we're breaking back down and now boom, right? Now we're continuing down through here. Don't be going against this. Don't try and pick a bottom in Bitcoin. If you want to go long Bitcoin, Bitcoin will give you plenty of opportunities. Just wait for a nice little rally up and a rally back down and a nice little high and then breaking above the highs. Let's create a really nice higher low through there. Or at least what I would really like to see is what you want to do is not try to pick the bottom. You want to pick the meat of it. So you want to see at least if we can get a break above these highs through here, nice high, and then we get a nice little retracement, and then a nice little break up. Guess what? That's where it'd be good long to go long. Have a stop below here. If it does scream back up to 20,000, if it does do that, then that's where you can see things changing with the trend. It's just by looking at that. But we're seeing we had this lower high, higher low, double bottom. Then we ran up, then we ran down and made this lower low, lower high, lower high. What was happening in the markets? High low, higher low, higher low, all the way up. Even this little bit of a high equal low through here. So waiting for that trend analysis to start it, and even just drawing some simple trend lines can start to tell you when the trend is now starting to overchange. And what would that trend line be? Well, the trend line would be something as simple as connecting from the high and just connecting it down through there. Let me just make that through. All right. So therefore, that tells me that Bitcoin right now, this is actually a pretty big channel through where we are right now. And as you can see, we're now actually on a bit more of a slope. So you'd really want to see Bitcoin break above this trend line through here to really start to gain some strength above that. Let me see if I can I? No, I cannot, can I? What if I bring that down through there? All right. So as we can see, we're actually in a bit of a channel now, aren't we? If we have a look at the bottom of the channel. So this is actually that at the bottom of the channel. And let me see if I can draw that trend line once again. All right, so we're going to draw that trend line from there to there. So this is basically, as you can see, it's in a really nice channel where we are right now. And we're doing that. Now, as we can also see, there's also another channel going on as we speak. It's in a really big steep downtrend. It doesn't mean it's not going to stop here. It can keep going down, but if we draw another trend line, and the reason why are we drawing these trend lines for? Not just to draw trend lines. So who cares about the trend lines? But what we're doing is now we've drawn these trend lines in. All right, and now we've got these trend lines in, we can now see where the momentum is. And as long as the momentum stays below, if the momentum stays below this trend line through here, well, obviously the momentum's down. But if we start to break above this and we start to rally back up through here, we're still in this overall downward channel. So that's where it's not out of. We want to see a nice break above this, nice break back down, and then nice little high. Maybe even something like that, bouncing off the top of this channel, breaking above this momentum downtrend, because that's where it's been valid once, twice. And look at the validation here. We're actually at that point now, right now. That's where you would like to see Bitcoin starting to rise when it comes to that. So right now, sellers are in control. Why? Very simple analysis, and this works on any market. It doesn't matter what market you're looking at. High, lower high, breaking down. Sellers are lowering their prices, so don't get involved with this. The only way you want to get involved with this is we can start to see the market, market starting to raise their prices, and that's when you want to start getting involved with Bitcoin. No, it's not going to go from 6,000 up to 20,000, just 20,000 just one day, and you're fearful that you're going to miss out. That does not going to happen. Even when Bitcoin was in a big bubble, it didn't happen there as well too. So I hope this video has helped you out. Once again, guys, if you are struggling in the market right now, click on the very first thing in the description. Go check out my 60-minute webinar that I'm running right now. We're going to teach you the 7 universal laws of getting ahead in the markets if you're struggling. And if you really want my help, then again, go book a coaching call with me, and I'll do a 1-hour coaching call, and I'll get you on the right path. I'll teach you more in 1 hour than you've learned from most courses in the last couple of years. I guarantee you that.